Welcome back to Elderly Active Living, where we share stories and insights about life after 60 a chapter that's rich with meaning, peace, and authenticity. Here, we don't talk about getting old. We talk about living more genuinely every day. If you're watching this, chances are you're like Meet, a stage in life where we've realized that many things we once deemed essential have become burdens, not just physically, but emotionally too. Have you ever opened your closet, looked at the old clothes, sighed, and closed it again? Or walked into your kitchen, glanced around at all the just-in-case items, and wondered, why am I still holding on to all this? I used to think keeping things was being frugal, preparing for someday. But over time, I found that the more I kept, the more exhausted I felt. Tired of the cluttered space, the never-ending cleaning, and the mental weight that never seemed to lift. And the irony? We keep spending on similar items. A cute decorative towel here, a handy kitchen gadget there, an exercise machine with the promise of a fresh start next week. But do these things truly enhance our lives? That's why I created this video. Not to make you feel guilty or judged. There's no, why did you buy so much? Or, don't you know how to save? Here. This is a space of kindness and understanding. Together, we'll take a light-hearted yet honest look at 24 items many of us over 60 continue to purchase, even though it might be time to let them go. I'm not suggesting you toss everything out. This isn't about extreme minimalism or living like a monk. But if letting go of just a few things can give you more breathing room and a lighter heart, isn't it worth a try? And who knows, after watching this, you might chuckle realizing you own a penguin-shaped butter cutter or a salon chair no one sat in for a decade. Don't worry, I have them too. Perhaps these shared experiences will bring us closer because life after 60 is about learning to let go, to live joyfully, authentically, and lightly. So, pour yourself a cup of your favorite tea or coffee, settle in comfortably, and let's go through this list. Together, no rush, no pressure. Maybe, just maybe, after this video, your home and your heart will feel a bit more at ease. Ready? Let's start with the first item own that, at some point, we've all probably bought. The magical avocado slicer. Items to consider letting go. After 60. 1. Clearing the kitchen, reclaiming simplicity. Let's start in the kitchen 3, cozy center of any home. For many of us, it's a place filled with memories. The scent of warm bread, family dinners, and quiet cups of morning tea. But it can also become a hiding place for clutter, especially in the form of gadgets we thought we needed, but never truly used. Open any kitchen drawer, and you might discover a small army of oddly shaped tools. A heart-shaped avocado slicer, a gadget designed to hull strawberries, a cherry pitter you used once and forgot. These things pile up slowly, quietly. Maybe they were holiday gifts or impulse buys at that as seen on TV aisle. Maybe they seemed like a good idea at the time. But here's the honest truth. Most of the time, a simple knife does the trick. A sharp, dependable kitchen knife, a solid cutting board, a wooden spoon that fits just right in your hand. That's all most home-cooked meals really need. Tools that have stood the test of time, not the latest fads. So take a moment, pull open that drawer, hold each tool in your hand and ask yourself, have I used this in the past 6 months? If not, it might be time to say goodbye. Let it go with gratitude, knowing that it served its purpose even if that purpose was simply teaching you what you don't need. And coffee makers. Do you have one for each kind of morning? A drip brewer for weekdays, a French press for weekends, and a Keurig for guests? At some point, it's worth asking, which one truly brings you joy? Which one do you actually use? Keep that one. Let the others find a new home. Because clearing space isn't about living with less. It's about living with what truly serves you, what supports your rhythm, your comfort, and your peace. 2. Letting go of unused furniture, making space for life. Now let's walk into the living room, or perhaps the hallway. Look around, not with a critical eye, but with gentle honesty. Is there furniture here that hasn't been touched in years? Maybe there's a chair tucked in a corner, more decoration than destination. Maybe there's a side table holding a lamp that's never turned on. Maybe it's a footstool that always ends up in the way. These things have stories, sure. Maybe they belong to a loved one. Maybe they were part of a different chapter in your life. But here's the quiet question. Are they still part of this one? There's no shame in holding on to something because it once meant something to you, but there's freedom in letting go of what no longer fits. Because at this stage in life, space is more valuable than stuff. Movement, flow, and comfort matter more than memories trapped in furniture we never use. Imagine your home with a little more breathing room, less furniture to dust, fewer corners to bump into, clear paths that make walking easier and safer, a sense of openness that welcomes peace. And don't forget, empty space isn't a loss, it's a gain. It's a cleared canvas for calm. It's room for your grandkids to play, for you to dance to your favorite song, or just to stretch your legs without worry. Start small. Pick one piece, one chair, one table. Ask yourself, does this serve me now? If the answer is no, thank it for its service and let it go. Because this isn't about giving things up. It's about making room for you. 3. The true cost of cheap appliances. Let's talk about something we've all been guilty of at some point, buying the great deal. You know the one, a non-stick pan on sale, a flashy blender marked down to half price, or a small toaster that promised magic but delivered smoke. At the time, it felt like a smart buy. Why spend more, you think, when this one looks just fine? And for a few weeks, maybe it is. But then the pan starts to stick. The non-stick coating chips off. That blender, it starts to sound like a tractor. And slowly, you realize you didn't save money. You spent it twice. There's a quiet kind of frustration that comes from appliances that fail us, especially when they break in the middle of making dinner or preparing something for guests. Suddenly, you're not just dealing with broken tools, you're dealing with stress, with hassle, with waste. Now imagine the opposite. A cast iron skillet passed down through generations, a heavy-bottomed stainless steel pot that simmers soup just right, a solid, dependable blender that's seen hundreds of smoothies and still purrs like it's brand new. These aren't just items, they're companions in your daily life. And they ask nothing more than to be used, cleaned, and trusted. The truth is, fewer high-quality tools can serve you better than a drawer full of broken promises. So take a look at your kitchen. Open the cabinets. Pick up that 9 pan with the warped bottom. Ask yourself, is this helping me or holding me back? Sometimes, less really is more, especially when it lasts longer, works better, and brings peace instead of problems. 4. The shelf of forgotten stories. Now, let's take a slow walk to the bookshelf. Books are beautiful. They hold stories, lessons, escapes, and adventures. A good book can change your life. But what about the ones you haven't touched in 5 years? Or those you don't even remember buying? Maybe you picked them up from a second-hand sale. Maybe they were gifts. Maybe, once upon a time, they whispered promises of mystery, inspiration, or learning, but they've stayed silent, sitting, gathering dust. taking up space not just on your shelf but in your home. And here's a gentle truth: books are meant to be read, not just stored. It's okay to let go of the ones that no longer speak to you. Keep the stories that still make your heart swell, the cookbooks with pages stained by joyful meals, the novels you return to on rainy days, the poems you've underlined again and again. But the rest? Release them. Pass them on. Donate them to libraries, senior centers, little free libraries in your neighborhood. Let someone else find comfort in the pages that no longer call to you. And if you still crave new reads without the clutter, an e-reader might be your best friend. One small device, hundreds of books, no dust, no heavy lifting. Remember, decluttering isn't about living with nothing. It's about living with what matters most. Let your space reflect your present, not just your past. And let your bookshelf breathe again. 5. Goodbye to the holiday towel parade. Let's head back to the kitchen for a moment. Do you have a drawer full of seasonal kitchen towels? You know, the pumpkin-patterned ones that only see the light of day in October? The snowflakes that come out with the Christmas mugs? Maybe even a pastel towel with little bunnies for Easter brunch? They're adorable. They really are. But here's what usually happens. They get used once or twice, then tossed aside for next year. Some fade, some fray. Others somehow migrate to the cleaning rag pile without you even realizing. Soon, your drawer is full, but when you actually need a reliable towel, you're digging for one that isn't see-through or stained with cranberry sauce from 2017. Here's a gentle shift to consider. Simplicity. Keep a small set of high-quality, neutral-toned towels, ones that feel soft, wash well, and go with everything. Whites, soft grays, warm creams, they never go out of style. They're easier to rotate, easier to wash, and kinder on your storage space. Still want a festive kitchen vibe? Totally fair. But instead of piling up holiday-specific towels, bring in seasonal cheer through decor that's reusable and practical. A table runner, a flower vase, a bowl of fresh citrus in winter, or bright peaches in summer. Let your kitchen celebrate the seasons with grace, no clutter. And when you open that drawer next time, you'll find exactly what you need. 6. Clothes that don't fit and don't serve you. Now, take a quiet moment. Open your closet. Do you see that dress you bought for a party that never happened? The jeans that almost fit 5 years ago? Or that workout set you swore you'd use after January, honest 2018. We all have them. Clothes that don't fit, don't flatter, or simply don't feel like us anymore. But we keep them out of guilt, out of maybe someday, out of memories tied to who we were. But let's be real with ourselves. If it hasn't fit in 5 years, it's probably not going to fit next Tuesday. And even if it did, would you actually feel good wearing it? Life after 60 isn't about squeezing into expectations. It's about ease, about feeling confident in our skin, about putting something on and smiling, not sucking in. Your closet should feel like a friend's warm hug, not a reminder of old pressure. So here's your invitation. Let it go. Keep the clothes that make you feel strong, comfortable, joyful. The rest? Let someone else enjoy them. Donate. Share. Release the weight. You're not the size on a tag. You're not the maybe someday. You are who you are now, wise, radiant, still evolving. And your clothes? They should walk with you, not hold you back. 7. When one blender is enough. Let's take a quiet walk back into the kitchen, yes. Again. Open that lower cabinet. You know the one. Do you see it? That second blender? The mini chopper you got on sale because it was 40% off? The smoothie maker, the nut grinder, the food processor that only works if you twist the lid just right. We've all been there. Somewhere along the line, someone convinced us that more gadgets equals a better cook, that every task needed its own machine, that a different blade would somehow change our lives. But let's be honest with ourselves. How many of them do we actually use? Most of us rely on just a few solid tools. A good knife, a trusty blender, maybe a favorite pan that's been with us longer than a few friendships. The rest? They take up space, they collect dust, and some haven't seen daylight since the year they were gifted. And here's the thing, every time we open the cabinet and have to shuffle through tools we don't use, it adds stress to the moment. It clutters not just the kitchen, but the mind. So let's clear the errand, the shelves. Pick the 2 or 3 tools you love, the ones that make cooking a joy. Let go of the rest. No guilt, no pressure, just freedom. Because a calm, uncluttered kitchen is more than just a pretty space. It's a place where you can move, breathe, and create with ease. 8. When smart technology becomes too clever. Now let's turn to another corner of modern life. Technology. Remember when the TV had 2 knobs? Volume and channel. When the remote had 4 buttons. When turning something off meant just turning it off? Those days felt simpler. Now we have TVs that talk back, refrigerators that send you notifications, doorbells with motion sensors, microwaves that ask questions. And it's not just what they do, what they demand. Updates, passwords, apps, and sometimes the help of a 12-year-old to figure out why your coffee machine is suddenly connected to your Wi-Fi. Don't get us wrong, some tech is helpful. A phone that lets you video call your grandkids? Beautiful. A simple remote with big buttons? Wonderful. But if a device leaves you frustrated more than supported, it's worth asking, who is it really helping? We've earned the right to choose peace over features, to say no to blinking lights, endless menus, and devices that make noise when all we want is quiet. So here's a little invitation. Simplify. Keep the tech that brings comfort, that makes life easier, that you enjoy using. The rest? Pass it on, unplug it, or leave it at the donation center. Because at this stage of life, what we need most isn't the newest gadget. It's calm. 9. The bottled water habit that costs more than you think. It starts with good intentions. You grab a bottle of water at the store. Stay hydrated, you tell yourself. Then maybe another tomorrow. And another. Before long, they're stacked in the pantry, stuffed into the car, and tucked beside your nightstand. But have you ever stopped to ask, why am I paying for water twice? You already paid the water bill. You already own a sink. So why do we keep buying those little bottles? Some say it's convenience, others, habit. But here's the truth, those bottles don't just cost money, they cost space, energy, and they leave a trail of plastic behind that lasts far longer than your thirst. They pile up in the trash, clutter under cabinets, and fill grocery bags you struggle to carry home. Here's a better way. Invest in one good bottle glass or stainless steel, something you like holding, something durable. Then, install a simple water filter at home. Fill it, chill it, sip it. That's it. You'll save money, reduce waste, and free yourself from lugging giant water packs through the parking lot. Because sometimes, the simplest change isn't about drinking more water, it's about drinking smarter. 10. Decorative pillows. Pretty clutter in disguise. Let's take a walk into your living room. There they are, 5, 6, maybe even 10 decorative pillows. Beautiful patterns, perfect corners. But what happens when you want to sit down? You move them, stack them on the floor, toss them on a nearby chair, every single time. They looked lovely in the catalogue. Maybe they matched the curtains once. But now, they're more effort than comfort. Decorative pillows are like little guests who never leave. They demand attention, but rarely offer it back. Here's a new idea. Keep just a few. The ones that are soft, comfortable, easy to wash. The ones you actually lean on during your favorite show or when reading a book. Let the others go with love. Donate them, repurpose them, or just release the pressure to make your space look like a magazine spread. Your sofa will breathe again, so will you. Because a calm, clear space isn't just nicer to look at, it's easier to live in. 11. Storage bins. Are you organizing or just hiding? You walk into the spare room and there they are, stacks of plastic bins, some labeled, some not, some clear, showing a blur of tangled cords and paperbacks, others sealed tight contents long forgotten. They started with good intentions. Let's get organized, you told yourself. A trip to the store, a cart full of matching bins. It felt productive, hopeful even. But now, it's just stuff, hidden, out of sight, not truly out of mind. Here's a question we often forget to ask. Do I need to store this, or do I just need to let it go? Because storage bins can be sneaky. They give clutter a disguise. Tidy, stacked, color-coded yet still clutter. If every time you clean, you're just moving things into bins, you're not organizing, you're delaying a decision. So open one, just one. Pull out what's inside. Ask yourself, when did I last use this? Does it still serve me? Or is it just holding space physically and emotionally? Let go of what no longer fits the life you're living now. And suddenly, those shelves aren't storage anymore, they're space. Room to breathe. Room to live. 12. Party decorations. Fun once, a hassle forever. Tucked in the attic, or maybe behind the coats in the closet, sits a dusty box labeled party stuff. Inside, 4th of July banners, a plastic Christmas tablecloth, leftover Halloween napkins, a birthday hat with bent glitter letters, and every year you think, maybe next year I'll host something. But years pass, and that next year doesn't come. Here's the truth: celebration doesn't need confetti. It doesn't need Pinterest perfect setups. It just needs people, laughter, a simple shared meal. You don't need 30 reindeer napkins to feel festive. A candle on the table, a warm bowl of soup, your favorite record playing low in the background, that's enough. So take that box down. Open it. Keep 1 or 2 items that still make your heart smile. The rest, let it go. Because you're not the same person who hosted big birthday parties a decade ago. And that's okay. You've evolved. Your joy looks different now. Quieter, softer, more real. Celebrate that. 13. All-in-one kitchen devices. More stress than help. That new air fryer promises to roast, bake, broil, steam, toast, and probably sing lullabies. But you still end up boiling vegetables like you did 10 years ago. Multifunction gadgets may impress in ads, but they're not always practical for real-life cooking. Stick to what you use and what makes your kitchen a joy, not a puzzle. 14. Expensive greeting cards. Lovely, but who keeps them? Ever bought a 5 greeting card to write just 5 words, and the person you gave it to tossed it 2 days later? A heartfelt note on plain paper, or even a quick phone call, can mean more than fancy glitter or gold foil. What matters is the thought, not the price tag. 15. Decorative sofa pillows. Sometimes they just suffocate the space. They start out looking cute and stylish, but then you find yourself tossing them onto the floor every time you want to sit, or lie down on the couch. Decor is meant to beautify your space, not make it cramped. Keep 2 or 3 truly soft, washable pillows that fit your needs. Let the rest go. 16. Home gym equipment. More clothes hanger than workout gear. You probably bought a treadmill or stationary bike thinking you'd use it every day. And now, it's holding your clothes. These machines take up space and serve as a constant reminder of unused intentions. Sometimes, a good pair of shoes and a daily walk are more effective. 17. Duplicate appliances just sitting there. 2 blenders, 3 toasters, and a special pot for 1 recipe. We buy them just in case, but only use 1 or 2. Your kitchen needs clear, accessible space, not a warehouse of rarely used gadgets. 18. Trendy tech accessories. Quickly outdated, often useless. Ever bought a sparkly phone case or a tiny Bluetooth speaker just because it looked cute? A few months later, a new phone model comes out, and these accessories no longer fit or function. All you really need: 1 sturdy phone case, 1 good charger, and reliable headphones. Before buying another trendy gadget, ask yourself, will this actually improve my life? Or is it just a shiny impulse? 19. Bulk groceries. Wasteful when you live alone. Buying meat in bulk, giant bags of cookies, or jumbo cartons of milk might seem economical. But if you live alone or as a couple, many of these go bad before you can use them. Instead of bulk buying for savings, buy what matches your real needs and portions. Fresher food, less waste, and no more grimacing at spoiled leftovers. 20. Surface-specific cleaning products. Overwhelming and unnecessary. 1 for glass, 1 for granite, another for tile. Suddenly, you need a chemistry degree to clean your house. Truth is, many cleaners are multi-surface, and natural alternatives like vinegar, baking soda, and microfiber cloths do a great job. Are you cleaning or just collecting plastic bottles? 21. Impractical seasonal shoes. They just take up space. Slippery loafers, sky-high heels, boots as heavy as bricks. They take up space and make your feet ache just by looking at them. After 60, shoes should be easy to wear and kind to your feet and back. Invest in 2-3 good pairs, walking shoes, a dressier option, and a warm pair if you live somewhere cold. Fashion should support your life, not limit it. 22. Fancy cookbooks. Great to look at, never used. Gorgeous pages, glossy photos, gourmet recipes, often in French. But how often do you actually use them? Most people rotate 5-10 go-to dishes. Choose cookbooks that match your real style. Or just keep recipes on your phone or in a small notebook. Simple, useful, personal. 23. Gift wrapping supplies. Taking up space, adding pressure. Many over 60s keep wrapping supplies just in case, but end up with drawers of paper, ribbons, and random items that gather dust. Gifts should come from the heart, not from stockpiles. If something's truly meaningful, give it now. If not, maybe it's just clutter in disguise. 24. Memorabilia you never touch, let it go. This one's tough. We all have keepsakes, but if something has sat in a dusty box or a forgotten corner for years, maybe it's time to let go. Keep only what truly sparks memories. The rest? Take a photo, digitize it, and release it. Memories live in your heart, not just in things. What's truly worth keeping? If you've made it to the end, thank you. That means you've traveled through 24 items, a few laughs, and maybe a few quiet moments thinking, yep, I've got that too. And that's all this video was meant to be. Not judgment or pressure, just a gentle reminder that sometimes what drains us most isn't age or work, but the weight of things we've held onto for too long. Getting older doesn't mean slowing down. It means waking up to what brings peace, what makes a home feel light and breathable, and what we can finally let go of guilt-free. A dusty juicer, a pair of 2002 heels, a pillow stacked under 5 others. They can all go to make space for simplicity, peace, and room to breathe. The way a home after 60 should be: calm, clean, and truly yours. No rush, no pressure. Just start with one thing. Maybe that faded Christmas towel or that untouched cookbook. One item a day, one mindful choice at a time. Bit by bit, your space will change. Your mind will lighten. Life will feel less weighed down. And remember this: if no one's told you today, you deserve a peaceful, joyful life. You deserve to age with freedom, in your soul and in your space. And you are not alone on this journey. If this touched your heart, share it with a friend, someone who might need this same gentle reminder. Subscribe to Elderly Active Living, where aging isn't about getting old, it's about living meaningfully, joyfully, and true to yourself. See you in the next video. With love.